for the 1 seed. Tatum is obviously leading the charge. And he's like slowly falling out of the MVP race. And why is that? I don't know. But Embiid is sneaking his way in. And I'm just thinking like, well, Philly's definitely not better than Boston. I mean, we can have the discussion about Embiid or Tatum. Frankly, I'm not going to have that discussion. If you guys want to entertain yourselves, you're more than welcome to. And Embiid's an incredible player. Bar none, he's top 2 center in the NBA. Top 2 center in the NBA. But let's face it, they're the 3rd seed, several games behind Boston. After this game, they were now 4 games back. I just think that I don't know if the Tatum narrative got boring, if we just wanted to spice it up. I know Embiid he's been the runner-up the last 2 seasons. I don't know. There's a lot of things that can happen. Half this damn award is just narrative. So, of course, things are going to happen like that. But this is a good game to set up a good battle. Now, Embiid played his ass off in this game. The Sixers threw their best effort. They hit hard on Saturday night. And we did not. The Celtics did not hit that hard back. And they showed that they could at least take the hit. Philly threw their hardest Jake Paul punch on Saturday night. They actually certainly hit a hell of a lot harder than Jake Paul did on Sunday in that Tyson Fury fight. So if you saw that, sorry, because it was terrible. No, I didn't buy the pay-per-view. Yes, I was also watching basketball at the same time. Yes, I'm aware that the Mavs blew a 26-point lead. Yes, that's why we're gonna check in on them. 1-3 with Kyrie and Luka. Anyway, Tatum. Let's just do Tatum real quick. No, let's do Embiid. Embiid is effing annoying to play against, to watch. He's incredible, but the way he is officiated, the way that he can throw his body around and not pay the consequences, it's absurd. Okay, let's just be frank. It's absurd. The clip, the best one from the night was when he is just throwing himself all over Marcus Smart, just throwing himself. And Marcus just has nothing to do. He can't do anything. And look, Marcus has been known to flop in the past. I don't know if you want to pick hairs and say he flopped right there or whatever. This is a damn near 300-pound man bowling over Marcus Smart. Okay? He's throwing shoulders, throwing elbows, and he's getting calls. And a lot of them are earned, and I'm not going to sit here and pick apart his game and say he's a free throw merchant. Sometimes it feels like he is. That man does, no matter what, for better or worse, live at the free throw line. He lives there, okay? He's bought a damn house at the free throw line, okay? And he's a phenomenal shooter as well. So it's not uncommon. He shot, I think, 14 for 15 from the line tonight. By the end of the night, he might have had 20 free throws. I don't know. It's annoying. It's a bitch to watch, and I'm sure it's even worse playing against him. Because what do you do? What do you do? He's now entered that, and he's been here. He's been hovering in the stratosphere of what do you do with him? Not just offensively, but not just like the way he's a frustrating player. He's entered Giannis. I'm just trying to get to this finish line where I say he's just like Giannis now in the sense of the officiating. What do you do with him? Because if you're too physical with him, they're going to call everything all night. Okay. But if you're not physical with him, he just bowls you over and he's just going to get to the basket at will. Okay. For 48 minutes. So you don't really know what to do with him. And sometimes the rules change with Joel Embiid. Okay. We saw that the other night, whether it was bowling into people, whether it was, he's got the tricky stuff too. He's probably been talking to Harden, All right. He's got the tricks. Once he's inside of 15 feet, once he's in the painted area, He's got all the tricks to get the calls. And damn it, he's good at it. And he gets to the line, and it's frustrating. And he kicked our ass that night. But that being said, that was a phenomenal effort from Embiid and Philly. And Boston took it on the chin. Okay. Did it come down to the last second? Yeah. Did Embiid also hit that insane shot at the end? Albeit definitely after the buzzer. I mean, I thought Philly was going to drop confetti the way that they were celebrating. But it just kind of goes to show, like, Embiid was kind of carrying them, and then the story of the night was just, he just ran out of time. But shout out to Jayson Tatum. He hit the shot. He played poorly by his standards in that game. Let's face it. And he started to get, I don't want to say he got passive. I mean, he's just naturally, he is a really good playmaker, and he's just looking to make the right play often. And often that night, I thought he did. I really thought he did. A fun stat for you, and it's the mass hole in me. It's the Tatum stan in me. I gotta pull it out. Over the last 5 seasons, Jayson Tatum has 9 game-tying or go-ahead field goals in the final 5 seconds of the fourth quarter and overtime. 9 game-tying or go-ahead in the last 5 seconds. That is the most. You guessed it. That is the most NBA during that span. Is that stat hand-picked? A little bit, but within 5 seconds, that's a pretty big deal. It's basically, yeah, there you go. And I can remember every single one of them. Okay, so yes, it's from ESPN Stats and Info, but it's also from my brain. Okay, because I remember all of those shots. I love Jayson Tatum. I was, a little disappointed that night. Disappointed tonight as well in New York. We talked about it, got the ejection. We're going to keep rolling. We got Cleveland on Wednesday. I'm excited for that game. I like Cleveland. I think we're miles better than Cleveland. But I'm just saying, it's just going to be a fun game. The Philly rivalry. Okay. We drum it up every time. We drum it up every time, and we say, oh my God, these teams have met 600,000 times in the history of the NBA. And it's like, it's true. And it is fun. And I do think it is a rivalry-ish. But Joel Embiid himself makes the best point ever when he said, it's not a rivalry. They kick our ass every time. That's not just a meme. He actually said that, and it is damn true and hilarious. This team is not going to be able to hang with us in the postseason. That is, when I preface this by saying that there was some negative going on with Philly, they're not going to be able to hang with us in a playoff series. They're just not. They haven't ever been able to. Whether we're talking about Ben Simmons era. We're talking about the Ben Simmons. We're talking about the process, fully maxed out process back in, circa 2017 and on. These teams have just never put on a competitive playoff series, really, to be frank. And I don't think that's changed. I think there were some adjustments that could have been made earlier in that game. I don't really love how Mazzulla was dead set on closing the game with 2 bigs. And I get it, you're going against Embiid, so that the natural instinct is, well, let's make life harder for him. But we just got done talking about how the fact is you can't really make life harder for Embiid. If you throw 2 bigs at him, he's just more likely to get fouled, honestly, is what it feels like. Is if there's more body out there, more target area for him to crash into, yeah, it's just going to be, you're not going to make life hard for him. He's going to figure it out. So you may as well go the opposite way. And Philly does look slow. Philly looks a little slow. If Philly goes small in the backcourt with Maxey and Harden, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough for me to bash my favorite non-Celtic, James Harden, but the guy's not going to defend. He's just not going to defend our guys like that. Harden will give effort. He will definitely give effort in big spots, but he's just not going to be able to hang with a Brown. He's not going to really be able to hang with a fully loaded Marcus Smart, with Derek White maybe even coming at you full speed ahead. He's just not going to be able to hang. Tyrese Maxey, same thing, just undersized. I mean, he's a 6-foot guard who you're tasking him to guard some of those larger Boston players in the backcourt. He's just not going to hang. And, then other guys we're talking about, they just went out and got Jaden McDaniels, who I like. Jaden or Jalen. Yeah, they are literally the same player. They got McDaniels, who I like. He's going to take some time to adjust, okay? And that might be longer than what Philly's anticipating. McDaniels comes from Charlotte, so defense and effort every second of every game is just not on the agenda. Never really played in a big game. That's worth noting. Tobias Harris, not going to hang with Tatum, right? Not really going to hang with Tatum. Although on Saturday night, I think I could have locked up Tatum for a stretch. You got to go small there if you're Boston. And we saw it in spurts, and when we saw it, it was awesome, and it was kick-ass, and we really took it to them, and that was when we were hitting our hardest. We went away from it at the end. Naturally, you want to roll out what you think is your best five, and I think that's our best five. Don't get me wrong, that's our best five. Smart, Brown, Tatum, Williams, Horford. That's our best five. But you got to adjust in certain spots. And I'd like to think over the course of a 7-game series that not only would Joe Mazzulla figure it out, but that just as a whole, we would just adapt better. The guys would, I'd like to think we'd figure out some way to guard Embiid over the course of 7-game series. And when I say guard, I don't mean lock him up. I just mean, can we avoid sending him to the line for half of his points? That would be ideal. And I think that's the case. I think there's some, I think this is too hot. I think it's too hot. But I think there's some Doc Rivers stuff. It's too hot. We're going to leave it alone. We'll revisit it. We're going to save the Doc Rivers take because I think it'll sound a lot better during a playoff series. So we're going to save it. Over the course of a playoff series, if these two did happen to meet, right now I don't think they would. I think they'd end up facing Milwaukee, and I definitely don't think they could hang with Milwaukee. But if we did meet, give me the season, probably 5, 6, worst case scenario.